Hey, Rad World, welcome back to Spoiling Dead, the show where we talk about last night's episode of The Walking Dead. This show's brought to you by Midwest Horror Fest, Garage House Studios, Rad Entertainment, HM&M Films, and Midwest Action Fest, which is coming this spring here in Logansport, Indiana. All right, without further ado, here's your host, Rebekah Erb.
Hello, guys. Hello. I am Rebekah Erb. I am here with the wonderful Daniel Murphy.
Hi, guys.
And that handsome voice was Tony Walters. I don't know if he introduced himself or not.
I don't think I did.
Okay. And that handsome voice that you heard was Tony Walters. And welcome back to another episode of Spoiling Dead, the show where we talk about the latest Walking Dead episode. So, last night's episode, The Big Scary You. We found out that it stands for the unknown. We also find out that Negan was one of those douchebags back in the day. And Rick and Daryl are really at odds now. So it was quite the episode.
Yeah, it was a good one.
It was really, really, really good. And I have got to say that Walking Dead is really proving themselves. They are bringing it this season.
Right, yeah.
Absolutely killing it. Another great episode. And how we opened, with them in the meeting, which is really cool that they were actually in the meeting because, when Negan talks, he kind of talks sarcastic and you never really know if you should be taking him seriously. So it was cool to see how the war started from the Sanctuary's point of view.
At the moment when that happened before, when he walked out, I mean, I wanted to know what the hell was going on the other side. Like, it was nice that they did that, and it was nice they filled in the gaps, and they didn't make us wait for some of that shit like they normally do.
Yes.
So we're all kind of somewhat caught up. I still feel like there's something else happening, or maybe now I just feel like something cool is developing. But, it was cool how they went back and just the fact that it was just on the other side of that door.
Yeah, and you could hear the gunshots, the simultaneous gunshots.
It was good.
It was really good.
Very well done episode.
Yeah. There's one character that I want to talk about briefly, and then we're not going to talk about him because he sucks. Gregory. Just, within that meeting that we saw, he was telling Negan, he's like, I will make up for this. Like, I will fix this. And now he's back at Hilltop.
But do you think,
and now he's a little fox in a chicken coop.
But do you think that's really what it is? Or do you think that he just says whatever he has to say to Negan to survive? I
think it's both. I think that he's a thin dick politician.
Yeah, he totally is.
So he's going to say whatever he can to save himself. But I honestly think that he thinks Negan is the threat. He needs to appease to Negan to survive. So now he's in there. He's planning something, yeah. And the fact that they let him in just confirms everything we already knew about the guy, For sure.
But yeah, something fun's going to develop there, and it's not going to be pretty.
No, it's not. But it's going to be pretty to us because he's going to get what he deserves.
Well,
hopefully nothing too terrible
something bad has to happen before that, though. Something bad, he has to do something bad first.
I know.
And now he's around pregnant Maggie.
Bad. I know, it's so bad. Ugh, he's a little fox.
In
the worst sense of the word.
He's a fox.
It makes it sound like I was saying that he was good looking or something.
No.
He's a little weasel.
He's sly as a fox.
Yeah. But along with that meeting, we have this dialogue with Simon and Negan, and was very, very interesting, and I don't know if I would have thought of it, maybe eventually, but there is this guest on Talking Dead. I don't remember what her name was. She's some actress.
Lisa Edelstein, I think is her name. She used it in the show House.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, her theory, because,
Sorry
Simon
if I
and
pronounced
Negan...
that wrong. I might have.
Hey, at least you, remembered her name, so...
She's kind of hot.
Props to you. She is really pretty. No, but Negan, Simon has this idea of how to fix everything, and Negan is like, are you confused about who we are? Are you confused about who's in charge? Are we sliding back? And then her theory was, because later on, Negan mentions this previous leader that he had to take over or whatever.
Did he say he had to take over? See, I was thinking back because I watched that too, and I was wondering if he said he killed him or if that was just a metaphor. It did make me think about it too.
Yeah.
Because there has to have been somebody that he took over from.
Yeah.
there's a lot of people he's taken over from to build up to where he's at, and I still feel like there's somebody above him yet.
I don't think so.
I think there might be.
Really?
Possible.
Really? Okay,
if you think of the chain of everything,
this.
like there has to be a chain. Why does he have to be the top one?
Because
and then when I saw that helicopter, it's like something bigger is going on.
Like, right.
It would be cool if there was someone above him, and his name was Negan, but they're all called Negan, so that's why he's called Negan.
That would be interesting.
It's nothing like whatever's probably been done in the books, but I don't know. It might be kind of neat.
But
everybody has someone above them. You know, it's a food chain thing.
True. But I still think...
Unless his person above him's Rick.
That's right.
But Rick's not going to kill him anymore. No. Take back everything I said. The show's turning me into a liar.
Oh, shut up. No, I think the previous leader is Simon. I completely agree with this theory that she has. I think it is super clever. I mean, it's right there.
He looks like a leader of sorts. He acts like one.
Yeah.
He is the true leader of the rest of the group.
Yeah.
And he took command when Negan was gone. So he's... Yeah, that's totally a plausible thing. I'm down for that.
I am really, really wanting to know Simon's backstory now. Like, he never like I enjoyed his character. Like, he's a really good actor. But other than that, Simon was just like, he's
the backstory thing's
but
good,
now
but
I'm interested.
Only if he's important. Like, the way they gave us Negan's backstory was perfect. It was short and sweet. They didn't, like Tony said earlier, they didn't have to flash back and do a stupid flashback to explain it all. And you would, and I told him when we were talking about this, it's like you wouldn't have cared anyway if you saw a flashback of Negan with his wife and then he's cheating on him. The way he told that story, the way it was the look in his eyes, and you could see for once that might be the real person. And it was the best way to give us his backstory. I'd be happy if it was just that.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah. I agree, but I would have enjoyed if they did do a flashback, just because I would be interested in what his wife looks like, just interested in what he looked like.
I mean, it's more just everybody's got.
But you didn't need it.
Everybody's got a motivator. Everybody has something that drives them. You know, and in every show, there's a character that's driven by something.
Yeah.
And if his is Lucille, you know, everybody has something. So the backstories are nice, but you don't need to go showing them off for everyone, you know.
Right.
It'd be nice to see it if they're gonna go deeper into that, but
yeah.
I don't care about the past. I care about what's coming.
Right. I just thought it was really interesting how he had said, "I never killed anybody that didn't need it," and then again, you know, when he was telling about his backstory and his wife, he didn't put down his wife when she had changed. So that like just putting that little thing together was interesting.
What's the one thing I've been saying this whole time about that guy?
I don't know. Remind me.
Every time we're on here, I'm talking about when are they going to kill him.
Oh, right.
You know, there's only one thing that can make me change my mind, and it's if they can make me sympathetic to him. And I said, there's no way they can do it.
Which is what I was going to ask.
But they did it, yeah. And it's not because...
So that changed your outlook on him.
It's only because they're taking things from here, like, this is Negan, this is Rick's group, and they're making it do this, like a scale. So everybody's got the crazy one. In this case now it's Daryl, right? And everybody's got... So it's like... It's balanced out now. So what they've done is they've taken these two extremes and they've balanced them out. So now it's like it's just for the picking. So I totally have become slightly more sympathetic to Negan from last night's episode.
So funny.
And I didn't think that was going to happen. I would not have
expected that. Yeah.
I know. Yeah, there's just things that, you know, the way he explained his story. And
it was really great seeing that emotion out of Negan's character.
And he knows he's still a piece of crap, you know, but
he knows.
It was the one person in his whole life that he's ever loved and been loved by.
Yeah.
So that's his drive, that's his motivation. So I say everybody's got that, and we didn't need to see it to understand it. They did it perfectly.
Yeah, and that's his drive, and then we find out what Gabriel's drive is.
Right, and that was just as good.
Yeah, for sure. I loved it. I have got to say that Father Gabriel was a badass in this situation. First he admits that he was at the satellite outpost to Negan. Then he calls him an asshole. Then he's like on this, you know, like, I'm gonna try and get his confession out. And then he has enough like nerve to tell him his own confession, risking to show Negan that weakness. You
it
know
wasn't
what I
a
mean?
weakness,
Like,
though. He was being the strongest he's ever been.
Yeah.
And the fact that he got Negan upset first, it had to happen to get him emotional.
Right.
So he could crack him. So then he could just have the guy just blurt it out.
Right. Yeah,
because he had to take him back to that place. Negan's driven by... He's actually a pretty chill dude, right? Mm-hmm. But when he gets angry, he gets it from somewhere.
Like, you could see at the end of the table with all the markings at the end of the table. Like, he's a hothead.
Right.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I mean, he does it to himself, really.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I don't know what I'm trying to say. When you get to that point where you're that angry, something has to be taking you there. Mm-hmm. You know. But I'm starting to feel for him.
Yeah.
He's angry because of all of
his
his regrets and what he should have done. That's what makes him angry.
Yeah.
He
and
carries
I said
that
this
around.
before, like, I hate to love him. Like, I hate his character for what he's done, but he's such, like, such an interesting and funny character.
And that's why you want to see everybody's backstories, because you can't help but want to know somebody.
Yeah.
And then when you do, you know, maybe they're going to give us a bit more each time to make us like him. But I think the way they did it is just enough to show that he's came from the same place everyone else has, and he's justifying it just as everybody else is justifying it. Like, everybody kills people. However you tell it to yourself in your own head to justify it, well, then that's it.
So do you think Negan is similar to Gabriel in the sense of what drives them? Because he claimed that to Gabriel. He's like, I do the same thing. I help people through their weakness. You know what I mean?
No, it's different. It's different.
It's like the same thing, but
because
Negan
that's
does it in a
Negan.
different
That's
way
Negan
than
playing
Gabriel
God,
does.
and that's him talking about God. Like, that's two different things. It's not the same. Negan's the bad guy because he does have bad guy issues too. That's the only little bit of him that we'll see, probably, as far as showing that he's, you know, human like the rest of us. But he's obviously tougher than the rest of them, so he's done meaner things, and he's trying to justify them.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's a little bit worse, maybe, you know? But that's only because they've given him to us as the bad guy.
Well, I mean, getting his backstory, he's always been the bad guy. Like,
I'm sticking up for him. I'm not really the one that does that.
He was one of those douchebags. And to be honest, I was not expecting that. I was expecting a backstory, because I already knew a little bit of the backstory from the comic. But I was expecting him to have this really loving relationship with his wife, because we know that's how he named Lucille, all of this. I was not expecting him to be one of those. You know what I mean?
I've always pictured him just...
So that made me feel less for him.
True.
For me personally, like, getting his backstory, I love seeing that emotion,
No.
but it made me feel less.
He definitely wasn't a model citizen, was he?
Yeah,
I mean, he's never been.
Yeah.
And the way he talked about how he helped the kids. Now, obviously, we know he's a PE teacher, and I think that was again. I don't think they're going to give us any more. I think that's just a nod to who he is. And in his mind, he's like he said something like, you know, he didn't say it like this, but it was basically like, you got to tough love, or you got to treat them like this so they can see what the real world is all about. So in his mind, he's just teaching boys to be men, and that's the only way he knows how, like tough love. So maybe if they're going to show any more about him, which should be stupid to go this deep, it would be, why is he that way? Like his parents have done something to him, made him crazy.
Well, there's always origins to
well,
something,
that's
you know
getting a bit silly, isn't it? But
yeah.
I think that's just the way he is.
Did visit his
He's just he
again.
considers himself an alpha male. And he's just wanting to just, you know, tough love these people.
I do have
and
to
it's gotten out of hand.
Yeah, for sure. But when Gabriel grabbed the gun and went into that room, which I was very surprised, and then you know, Negan gave his confession, and Gabriel walks out and he's like, "You're forgiven." Punch.
That was best. That was the best.
So funny. That was
But
good.
that was a nice thing that he did.
Yeah, for sure.
Punching him in the face was a nice thing.
Yeah, right?
But that's what he does. Like, this is how you... Like, he's one of them guys when if you're training a dog, you flick it on the nose. That's what he's doing.
Well, not just that. He realizes that for him
to
to
him,
get
that
out,
was just a friendly punch.
Yeah. like a dude punch. Like
a
slapping,
dude punch. Like, dude,
you on the
don't
butt
do it
or
again.
something in
Smack.
the locker room.
He's just a bully, but he's justifying it as he's trying to help.
Right.
He's trying to make you tougher. Like, he even said that to him. I'm going to make you my toughest weapon I've got.
Which, I mean, there's that. Like, I think, like I said before, Negan knew that for him to get out of there, he needed Gabriel. But then the more that he talks to Gabriel, then he figured out, like you just said, oh, this is going to be my new project.
Right.
So I think after he got out, he probably would have used Gabriel and tortured him to speak to the other groups or whatever, but now he's not going to kill him. He's going to try and do a Daryl thing and break him and whatever.
Right.
And honestly, that's good for Gabriel. He has more time
but
to
look
figure out
at what he
doing.
did to help oh my god, bad Daryl.
Dwight,
thank you. What did he do to him to help him? You know what he did to help him, however his story goes. Yeah, he really got screwed over a lot. Like, Negan's way of thinking is not right, but he's justifying it as right. So maybe if being with oh my goodness, Gabriel, all this time, as far as getting his backstory, it's just going to be more little bits told by him as he gets broken down more. Maybe it's more a bit like that. I don't know. Like quid pro quo, Clarice. It's like Silence of the Lambs. You give me something, I'll give you something.
Right.
You know? So we're going to get a bit of him from that. But
when they were making their escape, they do not seem like they were that covered. Anybody else think that? Like, they didn't seem like they were as covered as they should be. I think it's just like getting the point across, because everybody bitches they don't do it enough, but when they do it, it's like we don't care. So they're just, this is good enough.
Well, I would say that it wasn't enough.
No, because didn't he get bit?
It wasn't enough.
We're assuming?
Well, maybe.
I'm jumping ahead.
There wasn't... I would say that there wasn't enough, and that's why the walkers came at them so quickly. Like, it's not like they blended in for a very long time.
Right.
Well,
then it didn't help that he tripped. I think once there's that type of movement, they get attention.
Something shiny.
Yeah. But
the zombies put two and two together.
Yeah, it seems to me like the whole thing is more of a scent thing than it's a visual thing. So they had enough on them that they were.
It's like a snake; it can't see for shit, but when it knows what the hell it is, it's gonna go for it. You know.
Yeah.
Right.
If you smell like a mouse.
Maybe early on they thought they needed to cover themselves completely, and then as time's passed, they've realized, hey, we don't need to go.
Why
overboard.
don't they just spray human scent on the zombies so they turn on each other?
That actually is kind of clever. Like, that actually
carry around cans of
Axe.
Axe.
Of apocalypse. Cans of Axe. You just make them smell good.
That's some strong shit right there.
Dude,
like,
we're onto something here.
We are.
Why don't they just spray crop
some
dust,
perfume,
human scent? Like, I guess you'd have to just crop dust human shit on the zombies. Think about it.
I mean, it seems like it would work.
Why it works the other way? It has to work that way.
You're right. I like it.
That's probably not going to happen. Unless that's what that helicopter was doing.
That's totally it.
A small little note from me.
Yes, me.
I would just say that for the first time ever, I actually really enjoyed Gabriel's character.
Oh,
yes. No, I got sidetracked as we were chatting about Gabriel, but no, he was a badass.
So what made you change? Like, what made you like him a little bit more this time?
Just the fact that his character didn't come off so weak. I felt like his character was just an extremely weak character ever since he was introduced, and this is the first time that I felt like he's really stood up
Do you reckon, though, Tony,
himself and for everyone.
Yeah,
it's because everybody shushes him all the time.
Maybe, but when
nobody
he said,
listens to him, and you're
right before the opening, credits, when he says, "Maybe I'm here." Maybe I'm here to take your confession. And then, like, I was just like,
goosebumps.
Oh, man, that's awesome. That's
so
really
awesome.
good writing.
You know, and he's the only guy that's been able to mindfuck Negan.
Yeah.
Which is true. Well, Carl.
That we know of.
Carl was able to get that side of him.
Yeah, but this guy guy's pulled this much out of him.
I don't think that was Carl's doing. I think that was Negan's doing, trying to get on Carl's good side. It was different. Negan was actually trying to manipulate
Yeah, they
Carl.
were both manipulating each other. But this is just like two dudes in a box. Like, they both knew they were in a pretty shitty situation. Even when you're Negan, you know when it's bad. You know. And everything about that whole thing just played out so differently from how I imagined it would play out.
Really?
And that's what I loved about this episode. Everything was unpredictable, but yet crucial to the story, and yet entertaining the whole way through. Everything about this one.
Completely agree.
And
really, like Tony said, really good dialogue. I mean,
normally when Walking Dead makes you wait, they make you wait. This time they made us they gave us a Negan break. and it made us want him back. And when they brought him back, it was just the best.
And same with like the other groups. We still are caught up with them.
Right.
I mean, not as much with Maggie, but we still know that she's
does that scare you that they're tying up a
bit.
lot of stuff? Does that make you think, oh no, is this show coming to an end?
No, not really.
You're not worried about it? I'm really not, unless they're just gonna spin off the whole thing and be done that way.
Yeah, I don't think this will be the last season, but I have a good feeling that either the next season
10
or 10 would be a good one to end on.
I can, as much as like I would be okay going on for a while. I agree.
Everything has to have an end.
10 season would be
to me,
good number. Yeah.
To me, a helicopter in the sky is an end. That's an end coming.
Yes.
That's an end. They're wrapping it up somehow.
Yeah.
There's a bigger, greater. I mean, obviously, we're made to think that maybe that could have been an hallucination. I don't know. But
I don't think so.
I think they kind of made it out like it could have been, but yet, like you said, he's just too busy with the mission. He's all mission driven right now, enough that where he wants to fight Daryl. So it's just like, I'll come back to that later. Like, that was a freaking helicopter. I'm sure of it. but so it's big.
Yeah.
To me, that spells the end game.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm okay with that because everything has to have an ending.
Which is true. It's sad, but true. So while Negan is MIA and trying to make his way back into the sanctuary, everyone's trying to keep things cool, calm, and collected and figure out what they're going to do. They realize that there is a rat because there's no way that these people, that Rick and everybody could have done what they did without a rat. And I think, and this could be obvious, but maybe I'm wrong on this, I don't know. I think everybody is thinking that it's Eugene right now.
I think that
Eugene is thinking that everybody thinks it's Eugene.
Right, so you get
that too.
I think you're getting it from Eugene's perceived point, his like the way he perceived it. But yeah, I mean, if in the room, if you had to pick,
I mean, he would be the one.
He would be the one just because he used to be with that group. I mean, you're immediately going to be singled out a little bit. But
Eugene figures out Dwight. Right? With the paint and, the paint on the bag and everything. So what do you guys think Eugene will do? Is he going to expose? Is he going to help? Is he going to keep quiet?
I think he's going to collect more information.
Oh, for sure.
I think he's going to just... I ultimately, without analyzing exactly how he'll do it, I think he's going to help Dwight.
I think so too. And my reasoning behind this is because, as we know, Eugene is all about self-preservation. As much as that has irritated me, we cannot blame him for that. We can't blame him for that. We would do the same thing. And so now that Eugene thinks that everyone thinks that he's the rat and are against him, his self-preservation isn't with them anymore. It's with Dwight. Dwight had backed him up. Dwight has backed him up with that one plan. He thanked him with his pickles, which I just love that part.
It's an exchange of thimbles or whatever.
Yeah.
Tony has a different perspective.
I would disagree with you completely.
Oh gosh, why? I want to hear this because I thought that was pretty good.
I think that he's going to turn on Dwight and save himself by ratting out Dwight. So that way the rest of the group sticks by his side. I think that he's looking at it as, Negan versus Rick. Which sides really does he think's going to come out on top? Probably Negan's side. So he is...
See, but no, he knows, though, that there's a direct connection to Rick's group. That's got to be pretty...
Well, he sees what they did alone with their first plan.
Right.
And I think he
look how many of Negan's people they have. Right,
Rick's group is succeeding, so he's gonna try.
But that's because they have a rat.
But they also know
if he kills the rat,
dead.
then that weakens Rick's group pretty heavily.
Yeah, I mean that is great, and that totally makes sense. And
this is the information he's collecting, though.
That's still his group, and he. And as much as he's all about self-preservation, that's still his family.
It's funny because I've been the guy sticking up for him the entire time, saying that he was going to be redeemed at some point, and now I'm like, no.
And that's what's good about this show is that they can do that. And they did it with Negan. Like, I've been solid firm about him.
It's so funny because now the tables have turned. I think less of him.
I'm still just been on his boat the whole time.
That's what's so good about it. Like that's why some people like this guy and some people hate this girl. Like that's what's so good. You get to pick and choose.
Right.
So, and that's with Eugene right now, they have totally presented it in such a way it could be all three options. I think he is going to help Dwight. I think that it's a desperate way to get out of this mess that he's gotten himself into. But
and I think that I know, because I have talked mad crap about Dwight this whole time. Since he was
I've been sticking up for him.
I have been talking mad crap about him. But I really think that I underestimated him. I think there's more to it. I think that he is smarter than what he leads on. And this is a silly way, and maybe I'm just thinking this way because I don't play, but I feel like anybody that plays chess has some type of like smart strategy thinking. Yeah. So I think I have underestimated him.
I think that's used in movies for that exact point. Yeah. I play chess and I'm not thinking ahead.
but when you're playing chess, you do.
Yes.
No, I mean, we want to get to know what they show us. So, I mean, with Dwight, I think all his cards are on the table.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Right now, and he's got to rely on some help.
Yeah.
And the only help he's got is Eugene. So his best plan would be to come clean.
Eugene. And do you think that if Eugene did end up trying to help, that Dwight would accept it?
Yes, because he knows Eugene's smart as far as planning stuff goes, and would have the best escape plan that there is in the whole world, wouldn't he?
But would he think as Tony thinks? Like, oh, he's just doing this to snitch me out. Like,
I don't think that he knows Eugene enough to make that call.
Okay.
But I think that he knows that Eugene's from Rick's group, and if Eugene shows signs of wanting to help, that he'd probably just let it happen.
That's true.
He's already showed a connection to him, though, as far as like him being... he stood up for him in the room regardless. I mean, now he knows he stood up for him because it was him.
Yeah.
But he still stood up for him, so he's still...
You're talking about Dwight stood up for him?
Yeah.
Dwight stood up for Eugene?
Yeah.
Yeah. Dwight stood up for Eugene, I think, in that sense, because he was changing the subject as quick as he possibly could.
He was, too. It was a bit of both. It was a deflection. But in Eugene's mind at the time, so now, yes, Eugene's going to ask himself, did he do it for this? Did he do it for that? But it's still, in a room full of that many people with Negan there, it still went there, so... I think he still shows a little bit of compassion.
Negan wasn't there, right?
Yeah, but pretty much. I mean, they're all Negan.
They're all Negan, but but Negan wasn't there. So Dwight was a lot more cocky and a lot more taking control of things without Negan there.
Yes. But I do agree with you, Tony, that I really think that he was changing the subject.
That's what he did. Yeah. What he did was he shifted it to make himself look like...
Right. I just think that Eugene saw that pretty clearly, that he was changing the subject, not so much sticking up for Eugene. And that's why I think that Eugene's probably still on
So now he's
Eugene's
trying
side.
to like butter Dwight up,
just getting to know him, feeling him out,
get more information.
Yeah.
I do have to say though, it's kind of sad that he's still wearing the vest.
But he in that situation though, when
he's got to, it's like a trophy.
Yeah, that's true.
When he brings him the pickles is before he knows for sure that he's the rat.
It is before.
Oh, that is true. He picks up the.
He
went there to get more information, and now he has the information, and now he knows Dwight's the rat.
Well,
so now he has to make his decision.
Because that's where he got the paint from.
Right.
He's just snooping.
So he was in there.
He was in there being a Negan.
Motives.
Yeah.
He's sneaking.
Yeah. Oh man.
Because didn't Negan threaten him like, you need to figure this out for me?
Simon. He said that to Simon. Yeah. But
no, Negan said it to him.
Like
Negan said it
to Simon that he needs to figure it out.
No, he said it to Eugene. Hey, if he took him to one side.
Well, he said he said something to Simon like my second-hand man. You have to figure this out.
But he said it to Eugene too. Like, you need to help me get smart and figure this out.
He's like, I will make this worth your while if you figure this out.
Basically, I'm gonna not
kill you.
Not kill you.
But he said, I'll kill you quick if it needs to be done.
Not kill him or kill him quick. Yeah.
But I'm helping you out.
Right.
I'm your buddy.
Right.
That's how he helps people.
So then, of course, with that conversation, that's going to definitely, like, tell Eugene's thought process.
I still feel like he's going to do the right thing, no matter what. they're throwing at us.
I think he is too. But I just...
I still feel like he's going to do the right thing and die. You know, along with...
as much as he has irritated me, I would be really sad if he died. I really do like Eugene. He's so funny.
Here's the thing with this whole thing. Like, the whole plan's gone to crap from every side of it.
Oh, yeah.
So nothing even really matters anymore, but some people don't know that it doesn't matter. Like, right now, Bad Daryl... Gosh, why can't I think of his name again? He doesn't really know what's going on over there.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
He gets that...
He just knows what the first plan was, and now he's in the dark because he knows that everybody else is trying to go along with what
But
they
maybe
had
then,
planned.
in this sense, maybe Rick is right. You know, his plans go to hell, but that's only because everyone sidetracks from him. Mm-hmm. You know, maybe if everybody stuck to the plan, and so maybe the last piece of the puzzle is in Negan's base there. I don't know what that piece of the plan was. Maybe they didn't have a plan for this part of it.
But I have to say, like, with like back talking to Negan, the sanctuary and stuff, and like the almost rebellion, I was not expecting that, and I'm not entirely sure because they're like demanding on knowing where Negan is and knowing if he is okay.
It's like anywhere else.
And then he walks in, which was really cool. The little whistle introduction. That was pretty cool.
Yeah, and everybody gets down on their knees.
Thank God for you, Negan. And it's just like...
But he brings order.
I thought
he's helping
they
them.
hated him. Like, that just really surprised me. Like, yeah...
They don't hate him, they fear him. It's
but,
different. It's still there. He's still there, like...
But he makes everything normal for them. Like, no, this is what I've been saying.
They work, and then they keep them safe.
Right, but you need a way to keep things policed.
Right.
You know, and people need that.
Right.
So you feel safe.
But
I mean, he does it to the extreme, but if you stick to the rules, he doesn't really do anything to them, does he? Not the workers, really, does he?
He just
not if they stick to the rules.
They just exist, right?
Right.
So
they just don't get as good a treatment.
Yeah, but they're still alive.
Which is
in
true.
In the world they live
true.
in now, like, being alive's nice, and to get to eat 3 times a day and have a place to sleep,
and
they're doing
electricity.
All right.
Yeah.
So yes, thank God for Negan.
Right. But I was expecting, because, you know, part of like Rick's plan was thinking, you know, there's workers in there. They would probably switch sides and help us. Well, now I'm thinking that would never happen.
Maybe that's Rick changing the plan then, right? Because the original plan was to kill.
Always the thought was that there's workers, and if they're going to try and keep anybody alive, they're going to keep the workers.
The workers are separate from the saviors because they're the civilians.
Yeah.
Right.
But now I'm just like, I don't think that they would help them.
Well, take a look at it this way. How quick were they willing to rebel when Negan, they thought Negan was dead? So...
But that's what happens. A mutiny would happen.
Right.
You know,
fear.
That's because they're scared. That
healthy fear goes.
That's what happens when things crumble.
But so, if their whole world is crumbling around them, whose side are they going to go on? The guy who can't support them, or the guy that's taken over? Like these guys.
What do you mean?
Like they see that
Negan's world is falling apart.
Right.
So
it's temporarily restored.
It's temporarily restored, but if
that's why they're
Negan's
so scared. Like they've got nowhere to go because they've been told by Negan that Rick's people will kill him. Like they don't know any different,
Mm-hmm.
so they're gonna try their best to survive there. But if they have to, what they're doing is as a group they're going to overrun the place and do it themselves because Negan's not there to stop them. But they would rather live in a controlled environment, probably with Negan. So
now, do you think that it possibly could have been a ruse, that support and saying that Negan is back and them like, oh, praise you, Negan, but really they're just putting on a show because there's the bag with the paint, with the gun that one of the workers ended up having. So obviously that's Dwight giving out the guns to the workers in lieu of when things come back.
You think Dwight's arming them?
Mm-hmm. And I think
for that whole
little scene
and they thought maybe that was a takeover, and it's like, oh, we're a bit ahead of ourselves.
I'm not too sure about that, but I kind
of thought
good,
Rebekah.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They were,
I like that.
just
that's very good.
Trying to put on.
Yeah, maybe that's Dwight's.
So they were like, shit, it's Negan. We gotta all get on our knees.
Yep.
We love you, Negan.
Maybe that's Dwight's next part of the plan.
Oh,
you know?
Dwight.
Yeah.
Oh my God, goosebumps thinking about it. It's a good one.
I like it.
Yeah, you sold me on that. If that happens, I'll be pumped.
But Gabriel, not only, I mean, obviously everybody else is going to kneel, but Gabriel kneels
I missed that detail about the guns.
Right away. What does that, what's the meaning behind that? Why do you think Gabriel kneeling right away?
He just saw everyone do it. He's like, well, that's the way they do it. Like, he's from church, they kneel. He's like, cool, I like to kneel. I could do some kneeling. Oh, this guy's not so bad.
I think he's gained some respect.
Father Negan.
Right. He's trying to cause as less problems as he can so he can be treated nicely. And because I think that there is another plan that we are not aware of, because
Gabriel's up to something.
There is something
going on. But their lives
on.
do parallel each other. With the way Gabriel does things as, in the church, Negan is doing with his people. Like, it's the same kind of thing. So, I mean, he gets, as soon as he sees that, it's not like, oh, he's got to think real hard about it.
Right.
And he probably respects it a little bit, but he understands what's happening.
Yeah. So, what do
They're
you
trying
guys
to parallel
think
the two.
what's going on with Gabriel? What do you guys think is wrong with him?
The only thing that makes sense, because he did legit look sick. I mean, if you're trying to fake it, okay, maybe you can.
No, he's definitely sick.
Yeah, the only thing that makes sense to me is that he's been bitten. Like, how do you get sick that quick?
And it had to have been before if he is bitten, it had to have been before he made it into the shed, because those kind of things still take a little bit.
I mean, he took a tumble, and he definitely could have been scratched.
He also got showered and clothed. I mean, there was a lot of time in between when they arrived and when they showed him in the cell.
Was he in a cell? He was in a cell, right?
He was in, like, the one that...
There's actually a picture of it right now.
Right there.
Oh, right there.
Like the one that, like, Sasha and Daryl were in.
Okay, but I thought they told him to be really nice to him and put him in a nice place.
It was, like, the same with Sasha. They didn't hurt her or anything, and they got her...
Just be gentle with him.
Yeah. So...
Maybe he was poisoned. Maybe it was the other half of that pill thing.
What if I mean, this is kind of crazy, but what if it's what do you call it, biological warfare? What if remember when they were in the prison and there was all the sickness and all the stuff, like what if
he's a bomb?
What if he's a bomb?
Wouldn't that be cool if that was the plan? But how could they have planned that?
Well, I don't think they could have planned it,
yes,
because he wasn't supposed to.
Since season 2, he's had a virus stashed
I'm just saying that
from the CDC.
It couldn't. I don't see it being necessarily planned, because Gabriel
what
was
if,
not
what if
supposed
the
to stay behind.
helicopter is the clue? What if they did spray something on him?
No, Tony, I think you're totally right, because he is the bomb inside.
But how would they have done it?
And he's wanting to see Maggie's daughter, so he's gonna make a two plan out of it. He's gonna go to the doctor. I said daughter, didn't I?
Yeah, I was confused.
Doctor, so he's gonna go there knowing that he has medicine that he needs.
So yeah, his plan the whole time was to get the doctor for Maggie. So he has to fake a sickness to get to the doctor. So yeah, that makes really good sense. But how did he do it?
As much as that makes sense and totally works.
Because he said my plan the whole time was to get the doctor.
Well, he just said...
We have to get the doctor.
We have to get the doctor. But as much as that sounds great and it totally makes sense, and I kind of wish that's how it goes, but he was about to leave, and he ended up not leaving because of Gregory.
Yeah, it's like...
That's the only thing that doesn't make this
But maybe we misinterpreted that. Maybe when we go watch it back, he's like, take the car, I don't need it anyway. Like, that's why he didn't shoot him. He even said his gun had all the bullets in it. He didn't take one shot.
But he didn't take a shot through the entire gunfight.
Right.
Because his excuse was that he didn't even end up with the gun, so that doesn't make sense. He gave the gun to Negan.
That exasperated look was, oh great, that's the car that I was going to get the doctor with and get back to the hilltop. Now I'm going to have to figure this out.
Maybe he was just preserving his bullets because he did have a different mission in mind, and just in case he needed them to get to that point. Like, I don't know.
I don't give The Walking Dead that much credit.
No, I'm trying to write it in my head too, Tony. Like, how can they get to that?
Right.
But
I think that... I mean...
You don't seize the moment and get sick. That's what I'm getting at.
Right.
If that's the plan, how did he do it?
Yeah.
Like, it's a good plan. I really like the plan, and it makes sense that it'd be the plan. But if it wasn't the plan when he was about to drive away,
I don't think that it's
the plan?
Because Rick doesn't want to hurt any of the workers or anything, so you're not sending a sickness into...
Eugene can make stuff. What if we just didn't see the 10 minutes before and it was Eugene like, take this, I'll come back and pretend in a minute with your dinner, and then I'll open the door, you'll be sick, I'll take you, maybe we get
I don't agree.
Maybe
Dwight
Dwight gave him something to make him sick.
Maybe Eugene and Dwight... Yeah, see, I don't know. Maybe
it would have been Dwight. It would have been... to give him
but
something.
Eugene makes this stuff. He's a chemist. He can do it.
Right.
He's done it before. Like, he made that.
Or he went to the doctor, to Maggie's doctor, because obviously he's on their side.
So it just could have given him, like, double flu shot, made him sick.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Something. They've given him something.
I'm leaning towards... I don't think that he's been bitten, but I am leaning towards that he is really sick.
Right.
Like,
because
whatever
you can't just make yourself sweat. I mean, if he was, like, in
Yeah,
there
he's
doing
sick.
some major workout
I didn't want to believe that he was bitten because that's lame. Even though it's a zombie show.
That would be really lame.
Yeah, but I mean, they did just go through a shitload of zombies.
Yeah,
right.
So I mean, it makes sense that if he is bitten, like, he could be
not only
bitten.
once, but twice.
But
like,
it's a
getting
good
to the
red
shed and
herring
getting
more than
back.
anything.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't work for me that he's bitten. It works for me that he's sick. But the piece I don't have is, how did he get sick?
So do you think Eugene will help him?
I think he's already helping him somehow. I don't know.
Because they're really not that close. Because even when
You know how
he
they jumped
walked
around,
up, he was like,
but
we
you know
were
how they jumped
traveling
around in the
buddies
whole
or
episode
whatever.
with timelines? Maybe next week we're going to get the rest of it that they didn't show us, and that there already is a plan
we're
in
pretty
motion.
caught up on the timeline, though.
I know.
because they
I
went
feel like we are
backwards
too,
with-
but
yeah.
I'm just trying to put it together. Like, I don't know, maybe wishful thinking that they're already up to something. But I know
Right.
Dwight has definitely got more going on.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I don't know. How do you think he got sick, Tony?
I have no idea.
We're not supposed to know yet. But that's what's bugging me.
Right. So, Rick and Daryl are beloved bromancers. I don't know what bromancers is that the correct?
They're just buddies.
No, there's more than. I'm just kidding. So they haven't fought like this since season 1. I mean, they've had some disagreements, but actually, like, full on, like, fighting and throwing punches hasn't been since season 1. So seeing it just broke my heart. And it was really cool because on Talking Dead, they had, like, little, like, Easter egg type slideshow thing, and that fight that was between Rick and Daryl was supposed to mimic the fight between Shane and Rick, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Yeah, the headlock.
And then the part that just, like, is really, really, really breaking my heart and just, like, throwing me for a loop was that guy Iago, however you pronounce his name, is telling them that nobody won. Our people, my people, they're all dead. That tiger guy, the axe guy, the lady with the short gray hair,
Right,
dead.
so they're all
So-
emotions high.
But
they,
do you think, whatever, the one dude, do you think that he really thinks that they are dead, or that he was just telling them that to
I
throw
think
them for
he
a loop?
thinks they're dead because that gun ripped apart everybody. So they, and they
But
weren't
he was
watching.
there because she left.
Yeah, but they weren't watching after they killed everyone. They
He
just
just drove off and
but
knew
the
that there
guys
were
with the
walkers
guns didn't
coming.
pay attention to the king out there screaming. So that, as far as they were all concerned,
So
everybody
he-
was dead. I think the guy that was dying believed that. I think when they heard it, they were just like, he's just being a dick when he dies, blowing smoke. But
No, they totally.
no.
they totally
I
believe
think
him.
that they took a little bit of it, like they took the story, but I think they are hopeful that it's an exaggeration and the guy was just kind of being it, because they didn't really acknowledge that Carol was dead. Like there was no.
It was in their faces.
No,
oh
I don't
yes, it
think
was.
it was.
I politely disagree.
Which is why you think they had a
because
scuffle.
I think that was part of it because their emotions were high, and now because that's why Daryl just completely scratched the plan, is gonna go do something on his own, because he's like, we have our own people to look after. Some of our people are already dead, and obviously we know how his relationship is with Carol, so he is just running on fumes and emotion. So he's, ditching the plan. Rick doesn't think that that's right, still trying to go along with the plan.
Whose side you on here?
If I was in that situation, I would have reacted like Daryl. But in hindsight, I agree with Rick. We knew that there's going to be casualties. Yes, that sucks. We don't have time to mourn right now. We need to go on and do what we had planned to do. We need to finish this.
Whose side you on, Tony?
I'm on Rick's side.
Yeah.
Whose side are you on, Daniel?
I'm on Rick's side.
Yeah.
But, I mean, not because it's Rick, and not because that's how they want us to be, like they presented it that way, but I don't know. You've given me a different motivator, and I took that conversation with the dead guy a little differently than you did. Like
I took it a little differently too.
I don't think they took it near as hard as you did.
I saw it in Daryl's eyes.
I think Daryl was just like, you piece of shit. Like, you don't tell me Carol's dead when she's not.
No, I saw the hurt in his eyes. No. I did.
So that's why you think he let him lay there and just bleed out, not shoot him?
I know my boys.
Daryl's the kind of guy that when he gets angry, he just shoots no matter what. That's how he gets his aggression out.
No, he died. He's like, they're all dead, like I am right now, which I thought was
that's
kind
why
of
it's
funny
like
line,
the guy was just like, whatever, dude. Like, come on, whatever, dude. You're just dead.
And then not only that, but they lose their biggest advantage. Not only did they end up finding dynamite, but then they lose all the guns.
That was the best part.
What the heck are you doing, guys? What the heck are you doing?
Really, honestly, how are they going to get them back?
The guns?
Yeah.
I mean, they blew up, didn't they?
Yeah,
but
before that,
how were they going to get them back?
Well, they expected that the Jeep was still going to work, but then after everything blew up,
so
we
it
find
didn't
out
matter
the
anyway.
Jeep doesn't work.
Right, see?
Well, if I was them, they would have found
But they
a way
don't have the
to
power
get 'em
to lug
back.
them things around the way that Negan did and set them up. Like, it's like it would have been a pain in the ass, just as another baby would be.
Well, no, because they had the Jeep that Rick was driving, and that would have been the way that they transported
the whole point
it.
is that the plan ain't gonna work, and it's not worked, and there you go. There's no guns now. Like, the whole point's
right.
It's just,
right, but nobody has the guns now.
Right, the
but
guns
this
are
is
gone.
true, yeah. At least nobody has them, but still, like their biggest
They're better off
advantage-
blown up than they were.
I don't know.
Imagine that.
I mean,
what would they have done with the guns, like, for real? What would they have done with them?
had victory.
No.
Like,
The guns just
they
got
would
them
have
in.
won the war. What do you mean?
I don't. It's just no. I just.
But
I'm glad they blew them up.
Do have another little thing. Because since I believe that they really think that everybody is dead, that look on Rick's face from the first episode where the light is shining in his eyes and we're all thinking that he's crying, maybe that is a look of like he just found out everybody had survived. He thinks the king is dead. He thinks Carol is dead. He probably thinks more people are dead because he said like nobody won. My people, your people, they're all dead. So that's a look of like, oh, my family's alive.
That might happen before Negan does what he's threatening to do, which is the big showdown I've been really hoping to see.
Yeah.
Even though I feel differently about it now after this episode, like his plan is to take the main ones and humiliate them in front of as many people as he can. Which, you know, maybe when Rick finds out they're alive, you know, that's maybe when that's going to go down. But I feel differently about the fact that
like that's that scene that they did that would be too little for them to play out that scene.
I don't know.
I mean, to me that's what I thought. I was like, oh, that's him realizing like he's just happy because it's victory and he finds out that Carol and them are still alive.
Like the helicopter thing, he just doesn't give himself time to process anything. Like he's like a Terminator.
Yeah.
He has one mission and he's got to see it through. Like he doesn't I don't know. As far as like the fight with Daryl, yeah, it was a pretty big deal, but
it's a huge
at the end of it, they just kind of sat next to each other and were just like, oh, shit.
No.
Like, look what we did.
Chokehold's illegal, asshole.
They didn't even have to say sorry. They didn't have to say we're idiots.
No, it's because they're dudes.
They blew up the guns. Yeah, but
this is true.
But they blew
I don't
up everything.
Get how you guys can do that?
It was just the
like...
fact that everything was up in smoke and it was their fault, and they didn't even have to say a goddamn word about it.
Right.
And it's out of their system, but I feel like there's more coming there. I think it's just building up. I mean, I feel like the tension is there for a reason.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, tension's high. You know, emotions are high. I think that
there's a chance Carol's dead.
Yeah, I think that.
But I think that's the reason that Daryl left the plan because he thinks that they're dead. He's like,
and maybe
I'm gonna go do something.
I'm
we
not
have people
saying
to worry
that.
about.
Maybe
you know
so. Like he definitely. We called it. He was going rogue. We called it.
Right. Well, I mean, yeah. In episodes leading up to this, we've seen that Daryl and Rick are kind of on different pages,
right.
but we've seen that from Rick's perspective and not from Daryl's perspective necessarily. So them fighting, for me, I felt like was a bit out of character for Daryl, only because I think that Daryl's been thinking this whole time that, you know, things are cool. But Rick has been, you know, the guy that, you know, we've just been seeing from his perspective where he knows that it's not cool. So I thought that it was a little bit out of character for them to actually fight. But with the added stress of possibly thinking that their people are dead, maybe that works out.
Yeah, I agree.
But when it started, I had to just like kind of take it you saying that you think that they believe that their friends are dead made me think. You guys are totally on camera.
Thanks again, Tony.
Which is
that.
Totally fine. But it just made me think that
refreshing.
Maybe rethinking. I'm just now that I'm now because
totally. Dude.
When I was coming into this episode, into our Spoiling Dead episode, I was thinking my only nitpicky like little issue I had with the episode was just that their fight for me didn't have enough build up from Daryl's side of it. We've been seeing Rick's perspective, but I think I could have seen a little bit of Daryl's perspective, thinking maybe Rick was wrong in the plan that they built. But hearing you say that you think that they really believe that their friends are dead, that fixes that issue for me if that's the case.
But Daryl also did back that up with some good points about how none of your plans work. People are starting to disrespect you, kind of basically saying that to Rick. But put yourself in Daryl's, again, with the added bonus of Rebekah's tidbits.
Right. With that in there, then it's fine.
When you're trying to walk away from somebody and somebody keeps grabbing you and turning you around, you can only take that maybe twice.
Right.
Before you punch them in the face the next time.
Right. And so, with that added bit, it makes me more invested in the scene. Like the scene works for me. But when I first watching it,
you gave it more depth.
I thought to myself, I don't know that I really buy into them actually like going full on like fist fight. I just didn't know if I bought into it.
Which is good because the way they did it and the fact we're questioning it now, when that guy was dying, the fact that I didn't buy it, I mean, because we knew, right?
Right.
But the guy...
Maybe that's why.
Right. And so maybe it was just presented funny to us.
Right.
So we knew better. But I think that the guy maybe did think that, but...
Oh, for sure. I thought that too.
He just wasn't selling it. And it's something that those saviors would do. They've all done it. Like, didn't one of them just do it to Rick right before he cut the rope on that zombie?
Well,
didn't that just happen?
He just said, he's like, we're going to kill your boy.
Yeah,
basically.
But they say shit when they're dying. They don't care. They're not going to come back and be like, I'm sorry for my sins.
Right.
So it's just another guy dying.
So how much is victory jeopardized now that they are... Because as much as things haven't been going as planned, they're still going along with the plan. And now they are for sure not going along with the plan. Daryl has went rogue. So how much does that jeopardize victory now that they're officially not...
It's everything. It's, there has to be a good line of communication and everybody has to be on the same page for a plan to work. So it's just not good. Deaths. People will die, Rebekah.
Death is coming.
Here's my
Daryl may even be killed
annoyance.
by Rick.
My small annoyance, and I just thought of this, is as far as timeline goes from episode 1 of this season to now, we're still on the same day, right?
I don't think so.
Can't be the same day, can it?
I don't think so. I think that might have been mentioned or asked on Talking Dead. But in my head, I think a couple days has
But this
passed.
is what I've been saying,
we're kind of rounding
Rebekah,
up to our second
but not
day.
in the Negan stuff. That's what I was trying to say earlier. Like, I don't think they're caught up with the timeline yet.
On the Negan side? Like Negan making it back into the...
Negan making it back in, and they're still off doing their thing. Like, at that point in time, at the sanctuary,
Negan got out of that
Rick
trailer
and
a couple of
Daryl are
hours
still
after he was stuck in it.
together
Do you think so?
like
Do you think it was
that.
only a couple hours? Do you think it was like a day? How long was he stuck in that?
Okay, maybe 8 hours.
Okay, and then here's another thing. All of the workers being out of water and all that stuff, like... Were they only out of water for a few hours, out of power for a few hours? That's like a few hours isn't much to complain about.
No,
it had to have been longer than that.
But again,
right?
with Rebekah's tidbits, maybe they were thinking now's the time to siege.
Right, maybe.
But still, like, even
But you're
that
right.
wasn't,
If we eliminate that,
days
to
for
me,
them
it has to be time has gone by.
Yeah, it's people gotta have time to get hungry, get thirsty. Like, I mean.
But the stuff with Rick's group.
So I think a couple days.
You know what they're gonna
honestly
do now? They're gonna give us the other place now.
Hilltop.
Oceanside.
Now that we.
Oh no, they're going to the junkyard next week.
Oh, the junkyard. Now that we know Gregory might have a bit more going on.
But okay, so I know we've talked about the helicopter a little bit, but that kind of leads into like the trash people. So this is the third time that we've seen a helicopter. First time in Atlanta when Rick just gets into the city. Second time with
who sees him every time? Is it Rick?
Rick. Well, Rick was the first time. It was
Rick and
the
Nom?
governor and Michonne and Andrea for the second one, because the governor came and got those military guys twice, the ones in the helicopter and the ones that were at that one place.
I keep forgetting about them.
And then here's the third time. Has got to be the same helicopter, right? Like how many people are?
Well, they're in like a totally
around?
different area these days.
Or it is the government, and that they are still out there.
But how far are they? Do you think from?
That's one of my biggest pet peeves of the entire show.
Maybe
is
the
distance.
Yeah,
it's Negan's boss called Negan.
Negan even said that the Virginia's son, and then Gabriel's like, we're from Georgia.
Right.
So there's still, there's
no,
some...
they're close to DC now, so it's possible that this is government. If there's any government
and
left.
That's what I thought
I think the only thing, the logical explanation is the fact that they're government.
Or is it, this is the time coming sooner than what we were perceived, that this is the crossover.
That's another thing.
Because that's all. There's a ton. Like, even in the latest episode of Fear the Walking Dead, their major transport to, like, really get somewhere is this helicopter
that's
that they
gonna
have.
run out, and they're way far behind.
In The Walking Dead, fuel doesn't expire.
Yeah, that's the terrible thing.
This is true.
They must have a lot of
They
fuel.
They never run
additives.
out of fuel for anything.
Well, and plus that they were military. On Fear the Walking Dead, it's a
Seafoam must be
bunch
making
of
a killing in the future. I don't know, Rebecca.
I don't know.
Are they caught? Are they caught up?
So.
No. Timelines for Fear the Walking Dead are pretty far.
Yeah, so fuel runs out, especially fuel that you need a helicopter, put in a helicopter.
Unless you're a military guy and you know all the military bases are, you're just flying from base to base to base, picking up a bunch of fuel that never expires because time isn't an issue.
Abraham's brother. Looking for
Twin
his
brother. Let's get the guy back on the show.
Yes.
His name's Barbaram. I don't know what you call him.
Now this is like really this is really shooting far, but do you think maybe it's the trash people?
No, I don't believe they've got
I didn't think so either, but
I don't think so.
There.
That would just be like, what? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't think so.
No.
But with now seeing the helicopter,
I think that it just tells us
that there's something bigger
right now. Hey, something.
Yeah,
bigger.
I think it's just teasing either the next half of this season or the
last half
or next season completely. Like it's building up for the big cliffhanger at the end of this season.
They're spraying.
Right.
What they're doing is they're spraying tiny microscopic pieces of human onto the zombies, so they turn on each other.
I like it. But okay, so so Daryl is rogue, and now Rick technically is, because he's heading in one direction. He sees the helicopter.
I don't think he's rogue.
But okay,
he's just
that
on
was
his
the
own.
wrong choice of words.
He's on mission.
He's been ditched.
But he was still following the plan until he saw the helicopter.
Guess
and then
I'm
he
on foot, then.
completely turned direction and then headed towards where the helicopter was going.
You think so? Because I thought he just kept going the same way.
No, he turned
I think
around.
that he's got to have. I think that he's got to. If he comes across it on the way, he'll stop and look. But I don't really think that's where he's going. I'm not sure.
I'm like 95% sure that he turned around and was heading towards the
Those are good numbers.
Helicopter.
Those are pretty good numbers.
I think he was.
What I should do next time is bring my PlayStation so we can watch it back.
And so we can always prove that I'm right.
So we can prove you wrong. I think the helicopter's a big thing, and I think that if I saw a freaking helicopter, that'd be the only thing I'd give a shit about right then. Because when I saw it in the show, I was like, is that a fucking helicopter right there? Like, I was just like, hell yeah, helicopter. You know what I mean?
Right,
So
right.
I was pretty pumped about it. It'd be very distracting, even if you had a plan.
Yeah.
But
and
I don't think.
feel like...
I think the whole point with the plan is that when Rick gets to the end, I don't think he's going to kill Negan anymore. I don't think that's his plan anymore.
I don't think so either, because we see that he has made, again, that flip to not kill and try and
the path of righteousness.
That's right. But yeah, I don't think it's a hallucination. I don't know.
I got an answer for you, Becca.
What's that?
He goes in the same direction. He turns a full circle. He turns around and watches it fly overhead, and then turns back and walks the same direction he was going.
Well, I think it would have been opposite.
It's edited together to make it look really confusing. I had to watch a full circle walk around because I about said, "Oh, you're right," and then I watched it again.
There we
Dang
go.
it!
He just turns a full circle, but it's edited together really poorly.
Oh, okay.
So he could have walked in a different direction because of the way it's edited.
But maybe
it makes you feel like he did.
Maybe they're misdirecting you a little bit.
Yeah, but it's definitely feels misdirected.
I
But
think the
if
whole
you watch
shot too
his
was just
full turn, he turns a full circle.
Opposite of
Okay.
Daryl, it was more
Okay.
just like he's going this way, he's going this way. If anything, it was just oh, they're not buddies at the moment kind of a thing.
So do you think the trash people were part of the plan, or he's now going to the trash? Because in the commercial, we can see that
I
we're
think he's
gonna
just
be
needing
back there.
help now, and
Like,
I think
yeah,
he's just
he's-
like,
that's his
crap,
last-
I have to go back there and have sex with this lady so she'll help me.
Which, I mean,
That's
take
the only
one for
way.
the team,
It's
man.
the only
It's like
way.
he's
Yeah,
shown,
take
look,
one
I've been
for the
thinking
team.
about it, my plan's kind of gone to shit. Apparently Carol's dead. I might have to go hump the lady of the garbage and get us
Michonne
some more
doesn't
people.
need to know.
I think that, with Rick's conscience and the way he's been,
He would.
he should be upfront about it, especially considering Negan's backstory. That would make him just as bad as Negan if he cheated on Michonne with the trash
But
lady.
in this
With
sense,
the trash lady.
if that ensured victory, would it really be that bad?
Maybe you're justifying Rick, but maybe Negan had a reason. Probably not. But it's different, yes, but it's not nice.
No, I know.
It's not a nice image too, because she's got bad hair.
I know, it's so bad. Poor thing when she's not shooting, having to deal with that haircut. Constantly.
If she was super attractive, it wouldn't be as awkward as it needs to be.
She's definitely not that attractive on the show, but in real person.
No, I'm not saying in
she
real
is
person.
super
I'm saying the
cute.
character
Yeah.
has to be a little off the wall.
Right.
Because if she was just super hot,
Yeah.
it'd be hard for Rick.
So, so do you think that the trash people are going to jump on board and help, or do you think it's going to be
No,
quite
they've
the
made
process?
it clear that it's not going to be that simple. I hope it's not that drug out. I hope it's just as simple as I'm trying to explain it to be
What
today.
do you think it's going to take to convince them? What are they going to have to give them?
I've just told you what Rick's got to give her.
Well, besides that, I feel like what he's going to propose is he's giving them safety, because he's going to be like, you're in
Then
bad
he's a
books
mob
with
boss.
us.
Then he's a mob boss.
You're
He's no
in
better
bad
than Negan.
books with Negan. You help us,
Correct.
and I will make sure that you
Blackmail.
are fine. Yeah, exactly.
That makes him a terrible person. It's got to be better than that. Yeah, for what they're trying to do with Rick right now, they're trying to bring him back, right, into this. I think they're just trying to give him a happy ending so they can put him out to pasture. But
Aw.
I think basically what I'm getting at is that he has to do something bigger. He has to do something that is sincere and generous and for the better good. I don't know what that is, but I think if he's going to present something to them, I mean, they're hard to present stuff to as well, because she's so hard to talk to.
Right.
She's, you
All
can't
of
haggle
them
with her.
are. Yeah.
But he's got information now that half of Negan's stuff's gone. I mean, they've done a pretty good job of destroying a lot of what. I mean, right now, all we see that Negan's got left's 5 people and some workers?
Because all the outposts are.
Right, so, I mean, he
Taken
can
down.
go there with the information that, look, we've done this much. I need your help to finish the job. We can't do it without you. You've got all of our goddamn guns. What has to happen at the end is that they have to come and Oceanside has to come, and then that's how they have a big happy festival and they reunite the people from this side of the wall with the people from this side of the wall, and everybody gets along. That's the festival. I think that's my prediction. It's them lot, but
I like the
not before the Whisperers show up and kill them all.
Yeah, I was gonna say I like the idea
Can't
that
always
the
have a
festival
happy
is the Whisperers thing.
I like that that's setting it up, but I like to think the reason for the festival now might just be just everybody uniting just for a big happy moment.
Well,
until
it's
ruined.
It's obviously later. So
No, it's way
like
later.
the anniversary of the victory, and
Right.
they do bring everybody in.
But
for the
they've teased us with
festival.
these groups, or I mean that has to be the trash people. I don't know what they're called. That's because I call them that. The trash people, the rubbish people.
They are. I mean, there's the hilltop,
And then
there's the
Oceanside.
sanctuary, there's Alexandria, there's Oceanside. What do they call? Is it
I can't remember.
garbage?
Garbage
something?
gang. I don't know.
Garbage
There's
Pail
so
Kids?
many nicknames for them. But anyway, that Rick's got to get them, and then Oceanside's coming into play at some point. I don't know.
For sure, they're coming.
Or like, I think Tony, who was it said earlier? Maybe that's Heath on the helicopter.
That was Tony.
Coming in.
Yes. Where is Heath? No, I'm just kidding.
I found a helicopter, guys. Let's just go.
Is PPP like helicopter lingo?
The scavengers.
Yeah, PPP.
That's what they're called.
Scavengers.
What it is
right.
if you take the P's and put them in a
Scavengers.
3, it makes propellers. Propellers.
That's
Heath.
it. It's totally it. We figured it out, guys. It's Heath.
Propeller.
We figured it out.
Man, it's cryptic, but there it is.
Okay, so we got a sneak peek, and we got like the first, teaser commercial for next week's episode. We see that I put Car. We see that Carl is with that guy.
I must have missed the sneak
trying
peek.
to
The guy at the gas station.
Yeah.
It goes back to him.
that was the sneak peek. Was that there's this bag on the tree and a spike with a walker on it, and then the guy comes in and then Carl's like, "Hey, I got a sandwich for you. I'm sorry about what my dad did.
What was on the
just
sandwich?
warning shots." I don't know.
Like peanut butter, chocolate. What was that stuff he used to eat? A lot of chocolate something.
Chocolate pudding?
Chocolate pudding sandwich.
Speaking of which, there is this cookbook out now.
Sorry.
This Walking Dead
I did that.
cookbook. And they have Carl's pudding. They have Carol's cookies. They have
Spaghetti.
They have Herschel's Spaghetti Tuesday. I want this. Like, I would cook
It's a thing
so
you can
much
buy.
more often if I had this cookbook.
I predict it'll be on this show one week, and you'll have us cooking shit out of it.
Yeah,
Possum
we can
pie.
have like a cooking
Sorry,
show.
Tony. I just did it again.
What'd you do?
I was setting myself up for disaster.
Oh, because I want to do a cooking show?
Yeah.
Come on, you guys know you want to see this cooking show, Walking Dead. Shut your face. So that was a sneak peek, and then in the commercial, we see that Tara and Daryl are up to something.
I did see that. I saw that. I like that. Like, see, this is why I'm saying Daryl's just like... Tara's been vocal the whole time. Like, no, you guys wrong. You guys suck. We're doing it like this. We should just kill them all.
Her and Daryl have always been on the same page, wanting to kill Dwight when he was at Alexandria. They've always been...
I mean, I get it, and I like it. I dig it, because I like Tara.
Been wrong.
What's that?
So they've always been wrong.
But I like Tara's character, and she's been a waste, and I feel like, man, let's do something with her. She's good. I like it.
She's one of my least favorites.
But this is her time to shine.
Tony?
But this is not going to end well. Who?
Oh, he's like, she's one of my least favorites. I was like, aren't they all? And he's like, yes.
Yeah, don't like anyone.
And then not only that, but we see that
she's the one.
Prisoner of war is getting loose at the hilltop.
I got it.
Putting Maggie in danger.
Daryl and her team up.
Yes.
She knows Oceanside. What if they go there and recruit them? And they start their own
Dude,
thing.
we really need your help. Yeah. Come now.
Daryl and her go up there.
And they can go, nah.
And all of the women at Oceanside are like, oh, anything for you, Norman Reedus. You're beautiful. And they join Daryl's gang.
Because they would totally call him
Daryl's
Norman.
hot. And that's how they do it.
He is hot. But I will say...
Rick slides one over, so does Daryl. They get an army each for doing the do.
But I will say, as much as Daryl, Norman, is a very, very good-looking man, the hair irritates me.
That's always in his face?
Yeah, I've never understood that. Like,
always in his face.
You'd think that would... I mean, it's not even like one of those, emo swoops to where you're just gonna...
No, it's just
a little flick.
stuck to his face.
Yeah, it is straight down.
Right in his eyes.
Why?
How can he aim? I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently it works for a lot of other people.
I don't know.
It drives me nuts, too.
And he keeps it that way because it works, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've had long hair. It can be annoying.
I wonder if it drives him nuts as the actor.
It's got to. It has to.
Always in your eyes.
He just always looks... He's supposed to just... He's never... I mean, he's a scudsy looking guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
Right, but he could at least pull his hair behind his ear so he can get a clean shot.
Right.
Maybe he hides
so
behind his hair.
Slick it back or something.
It's like wearing glasses. He hides behind his hair like it's protection.
Yeah. But, like I said, we see that a savior is getting loose with some rock or something.
Wait a minute. You got to rephrase that. Getting loose means something way different where I'm from.
I am curious. Give us a little lesson. What is it?
I think if you just
I'm
use
not
your
curious because we're at
imagination-
like an hour and 10 minutes here.
Holy crap!
Nuh-uh.
Yeah.
Well,
That's
this
ridiculous.
is after this that I'm wrapping up.
I'll
So,
tell you when
give us a lesson.
I'll tell you when we're done.
Oh, okay, but maybe the viewers
It means having
want
sex.
to know.
What's your next
Okay, there you
thing?
go. That's all I wanted to know.
You can't have sex with rocks.
So next week is gonna be crazy. That's basically what I was getting at with the Savior thing. Makes me very, very nervous.
I'm excited.
Yeah, as we wrap up, I do have to say that Red Machete is at it again. As much as this one seemed really, really short, really good, I'm still hooked.
I really like
still
that.
interested on what's going on with that.
I really like it.
Yeah.
It makes me think. I'm really focused on it when it comes on.
Yeah, I love it.
Tony hasn't seen a damn one of them.
I've seen them.
Have you?
Yeah.
What do you think of it?
I don't care.
We should just expect that to be Tony's like go-to.
I care,
answer.
Rebecca. Just
Hey,
Turn your
this
back on
episode
him.
was like my favorite episode so far this season. I thoroughly enjoyed
I'm
it.
so
I was
proud
pretty
of
hooked into it the
you.
whole time.
I'm so proud
I
of
just
you.
don't care about
until
the
Red Machete come on and just ruined everything
I
about
just don't
it.
care about it.
I'm digging it.
Well, I do have to
They
say...
better hurry up with whatever I hope they're doing with it, though.
There's
gonna
like
carry
what, 8
over into the
episodes
next
left?
season,
Yeah, I
isn't
was
it?
gonna say it's gonna carry
For the
over.
next half a season.
Yeah, maybe, I don't know. They might end it by the mid-season break.
Doubt it. You're probably right, Tony. Now I hate the damn Red Machete. So they're gonna make me.
Yeah,
wait
because
for
you
that.
like answers, and it's not gonna give
I
it to you.
do
for a
like
long time.
answers.
I think
wanna
everybody
finish it-
likes answers.
Yeah, but I don't know. I like a good cliffhanger,
Yeah.
but I also like.
That's why I'm really enjoying The Punisher right now, because every episode sets up a question, and then the next episode answers that question. It's great.
It's good if you want to keep. Yeah, but you got to have something solid behind it.
Right,
too.
no, there's like a solid story like happening behind it all with more questions, but they give you one answer to open up another question, and it just
Right.
it
But I
makes the
think that
pacing
is
just nice.
honestly, like you say, this is your favorite episode yet. I think the reason why it might be mine is because
It answered a lot.
they do have us caught up on a lot of stuff, and it's not that we're sitting here wondering and blah, blah, other than Heath.
I'm not even wondering about Heath. I
Where's
know
and
where Heath's
and
at.
you're the only one that gives a shit about Heath.
Yeah.
Like, they really do have all the ends tied up for the
They
most
do,
part
yeah.
as they're bringing it together. So now we're left to just focus on what's coming and not dwell on what could be.
Right.
You know, there's a little bit of that still there, but it's not like
as
it's
much.
been.
Yeah.
And I like that. And not that they're ending the show. I mean, obviously, eventually they will. But the fact that they're tying up this one just leads you into a new chapter. And I think that's what some of this premonition thing might be about. The next chapter.
I just have to say that, as you guys know, The Walking Dead is just absolutely amazing. Like, yes, this is probably one of my favorite episodes. I know. I'm wrapping up. I
See, now you
absolutely
really wish you had
love-
that monitor out here, don't you?
I just absolutely love The
See a
Walking
sign to
Dead
flash.
in every single way. Like, yes, last night's episode was great, but in a big picture, you got to see what Walking Dead is doing. Okay, how do I put this? Okay, so you have a religious man on this show. You have gay couples on the show. You have interracial relationships.
Right, see,
Let's
very-
watch Game of Thrones and call it a day.
It's very eclectic.
No, and it's so great, and it brings everybody to get together, and you don't hear anybody boycotting Walking Dead. You know what
Everybody
you know
is
what I
boycotting
mean?
Walking Dead. Have you noticed that their ratings
No,
have dropped
that's
like
not what
real
I
bad
mean.
lately?
Tony, not Rebecca. She loves
That's
The Walking
not
Dead.
what I mean. Like they're not boycotting it because of that. They're not being
No, they're
offended.
boycotting it because the stories are not good
Shut
and
your
that the
face.
show is lacking
Shut
in a
your
lot
face.
of
I'm
ways.
trying to have
and-
a heartfelt
I know you are.
emotion
and
about the show.
We get what you're saying, and I do.
You
I
can
do
follow
understand
Rebecca
you.
at GeekyLarpChick89 on
He's cutting you
Instagram
off.
and Facebook.
You just got the hook. You hooked her. She deserved it.
Oh, wrong way.
Hopefully the camera's on you, Tony.
Is it?
No.
All right, wrap it up.
Sorry.
Are you done, Rebecca?
I mean, apparently I am.
Well, I totally understand. It's a really
No,
powerful
just
show.
kidding.
It's got good stories. It covers
And
the
nobody's
bases.
bitching and moaning about being offended. Is
Right.
basically what I was trying to
They
get
do
at. It's just
sometimes
amazing.
moan, but people moan.
But it's not because
Cool
of
people
that.
are
It's
not
because
moaning.
it's too slow and whatever. It's not because of the stuff that you hear everybody complaining about nowadays.
Right now,
And I
yeah,
think
they're
it's
on their
I
game.
think that they've actually been
Yeah.
complaining a lot about how violent the show is.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, what you see in, like,
Watch something
dumb
else.
news nowadays, they're not getting offended besides the
True,
violence.
true.
But that's all I was trying to say. And now I'm officially wrapping things up. My apologies, guys.
We're rounding an hour and a half here.
She's
Let's
very,
get this thing going.
she's very passionate about The Walking Dead.
I am. So we have 3 episodes left till the mid-season finale.
Finally.
So with that finale, what did I say?
No, you said it right. He said finally.
Oh. So with that, don't forget about our Stuff and Things giveaway. If you, every time you tune in and comment below, that adds your name to the whatever that we can pull out. So the more times you tune in, the better chance you get to win. Spoiling Dead merchandise, Walking Dead merchandise, probably some other cool stuff in there, some Rad Entertainment merchandise.
We'll throw some movies in there.
Some movies.
You'll never be the same again.
No, you won't. But yeah, what's going on? What else is going on? Like, what's coming up to tell everybody about?
We got lots going on right now.
You just edited a rough cut of a movie.
Just finished the movie Slaughterhouse. We're just tweaking it. It's pretty well done. That's going out.
It's exciting.
That's going to be bundled with another movie, an anthology, 6 films by 6 different filmmakers called Horror Madness and Mayhem Volume 1. Those 2 are going to be together. You can buy it now, both on the same kind of 2 DVD deal for $13.
You can find Rad Entertainment short film June on there,
June is
starring
on there.
Rebekah and directed by me, and starring Dan too.
Are you down here?
No.
Oh,
That's
darn.
right. Tony is one of the 6 filmmakers from the anthology. That's what June was all about. So yeah, that's coming out. We're bringing back a script from 2014 called Naughty Schoolgirls of the SS that's kind of going through some rewrites. Then obviously we got Dolly Deadly, Kill Dolly Kill
Still working
in
on
the spring.
that. Yeah.
And Tony's got something brewing too, I think.
I'm writing a crime movie.
It's gonna be great.
There's my excitement. I'm writing.
That is
Doing
exciting.
a lot of writing right now. It's fun. I'm excited about it.
We're excited about it.
We all are.
Yeah. So we got a lot of things coming up. Also, what is it? Midwest Action Fest is April 20th. We're taking film submissions for that right now, as well as we're taking film submissions for next year's Midwest Horror Fest. So those can be found on filmfreeway.com. There's links for all those things in the description, as well as links for where you can find Dan, which is where?
HMMfilms.com. Takes you everywhere.
You can find Rebekah where?
You can find me on Instagram, on Facebook, and on YouTube as Geeky LARP Chick.
Give me your logo. I'll put you on HMMfilms.com too.
Yeah, there's a link in the description
Everybody's on there.
for Rebekah's stuff and her YouTube channel. And you can follow myself at TonyWalters_. You can follow Rad Entertainment at Rad Entertain on Instagram and Twitter, Facebook, all that fun stuff. Yeah. So that's it, right? Nothing else to plug?
I think
Did
that's
anybody comment?
No.
I think that's it.
All right.
Wah, wah, wah. Oh, I have a couple of reviews coming out.
What did you see, Rebekah?
The Star.
Never heard of it.
And I'm going to see Coco Wednesday.
I should have to watch the
check
reviews.
out 2 animation kid movies. Check them out.
Yep, those will be up later this week. All right. So we'll see you guys next week right here on Spoiling Dead.